Ma'am, no, I don't know which film was it, but there are like quite a few films. I think there were 2-3 films where you could see the editing. It had some sort of a rhythm in it. And like from the top of my head, there was an example where in the hand loom, where they were sort of doing the thing with the foot, and it would cut to the dancing of that. Now, how much of that is the contribution of, say, the editor or the writer director? Like, because we really don't see that much of rhythmic cutting nowadays in our cinema in order to create a meaning. Nowadays, it's more to create an effect or an impact to shock the audience. But here, like in so many times where you can actually see the meaning coming out of the edit. Now, I don't know whether there's an answer for it, like a clear-cut answer, but how much do you think was the contribution of the editor in that, or the writer-director? Like, who takes this? I mean, how does this happen?
I don't fully agree when you say that these days, it's a sweeping statement that these days all the film editing is only for impact and effect and not really to bring out.
I'm talking about like the major Bollywood.
You have to also see that the length of the film is very short. So they are trying to, and in that film, I think you were referring to Weave Me Some Flowers, there is no commentary. And the whole idea is that both the music, juxtaposition of music and editing will create that impact. So yes, editor would have a lot of contribution in that, but also music, because music is completely as if written for the visual track after it has been done. But it never is like that. If you talk to an editor on the editing table, all the elements really come together. People sometimes make a cut. You know, when we discuss it after watching these films, and the way we sometimes, discuss how the editing must have been done and how the cinematography must have been done, is actually very different from what actually goes into making of the film. Sometimes a shot is there because they could not find another shot which was good enough, or sometimes a replacement shot or something that they thought of during the making of the film. Okay, so this is how we can do it. It's very difficult to say who contributes what and how much to a film, but definitely editing here definitely makes a major mark, but not without other elements of music. So I don't know whether that answers your question or not. These films were made during the time when experiments in cinematography were being done. So there's definitely an influence of cinematographic, if I may use the term, turn that was going on, and definitely juxtaposition, trying to create a jump, trying to create an effect which is akin to a montage, an effect that
it's somewhat on the lines of like the documentaries by Pramod Pati. Like you can see the similarity there in the like.
Yes, Pramod Pati was very well trained by Czechoslovakian school of editing, and he was trained by some of the best editors. So definitely his films have that. And in fact, his films are all about editing and creating meaning. But it's difficult to say percentile-wise how much people contribute. But yes, especially if it's a short document, if it is a short film, the impact, in fact, it is impact-driven. Impact has to be brought out. So happens sometimes on the editing table, definitely, but other elements are involved too. This is always a very difficult question to answer. If you ask a filmmaker who contributed what, he would have a different answer.
No, what I wanted to know was,
for the same film, a cinematographer would have a different answer. For the same film, a musician would say, but without my music, the film doesn't exist. So if you want to know perhaps at what level this happens, I think it definitely happens at the level of conception. Yeah. It is not something which a filmmaker, after having shot everything, then decides, I'm going to make this kind of a film, unless some major event has happened. As a rule, this kind of a thought goes at the level of conception.
Yeah.
But what it actually will become depends upon other contributors, musicians and editors and cinematographers.
Yeah, thank you.